What is going on YouTube? Welcome in, I am LiboATM as always here with another series of videos on the channel. From you clicking on the video, you know this one or this series is now called Tome Time. Basically what this is going to be is I am going to go through every part of every tome and I am going to give you recommendations on both the killer and the survivor challenges of how you can clear those challenges off in the easiest and most efficient way for you by giving you perk recommendations, offerings, add-ons, and just ways to approach the trials. Some of them are obviously very self-explanatory and don't need much recommendation, so we'll cover those ones off pretty quickly. But for some of the more complex or harder ones, I'll give you some more kind of in-depth recommendations. So without any further ado, we'll jump in, starting with the survivor side, and we'll go on to the first one. Okay, so True Friend is now up on the screen. Unhook a survivor safely or take protection hits for 20 times. Obviously quite a long, grindy challenge. My recommendation for this one is you run We're Going to Live Forever, pair that with Borrowed Time, and then run the add-on of the Yellow Med Kit and the Bandages add-on. Reason is, We're Going to Live Forever rewards you for taking protection hits or unhook, so it's going to incentivize you to do it. Borrowed Time is going to give your teammates the additional safety when they get taken off hook for the additional kind of health state, and help you get that safe unhook. And then the med kit, Yellow Med Kit with the Bandage add-on gives you 2 full heals. So if you take protection hits, it allows you to heal yourself 2 full times, especially if it starts getting in clutch towards the end of the game and people start dying off. It kind of gives you a safety net of 2 full heals in your back pocket. Next survivor challenge on the tome is unlock 10 chests under the last place you look. My recommendation for this, as you'll see on the screen, is to run Plunderer's Instinct with Open-Handed and bring the shiny coin offering. So Plunderer's Instinct shows you where all the chests are at 32 meters, I believe, and Open-Handed gives you 16 meters extra aura reading range, so you can see all the chests on the map up to 48 meters away, and the shiny coin basically brings you 2 extra chests, which gives you 5 chests per trial. If all things go well, you can cover it off in 2. If not, it basically saves you, it cuts down the amount of time you need to do at the trial and looking for the chests. Next challenge, craft time's over, cleanse 15 totems, everyone's favourite one when they pop up on the rift. So what I would advise for this one is you run small game and detective's hunch, and this will allow you'll have small game to give you the auditory warning when you're near a totem or within your cone of radius with it, and also detective hunch to give you that added one of every time a generator is completed, it shows you the closest totems to you, I think within 32 meters. So with these two these two perks, you can locate all the totems pretty quickly. Also there's 5 per match, so you ideally can do it over 3, but with these 2 perks you should hopefully be able to find them a little bit more easily, and then also it comes in handy getting rid of hexes and things like that and no ed in the trials anyway. Next up we have Positive Vibes, which is completely heal or 3 health states of other survivors in 1 trial. So I'm going to give you 2 options for this one. So regardless of what option you choose, I would still recommend you bring the Yellow Med Kit and the Bandages add-on for the 2 full heals for yourself. So option 1 you could use for this one is a safer option, where you could bring the perks of Desperate Measures, We'll Make It, and Botany Knowledge. All 3 perks are there to give you faster heal speeds, which means you're able to heal other people quicker. That's basically the whole premise around it. You don't need to bring all 3, but some combination of the 3 or all 3 if you want should give you a pretty speedy heal. And then you can take a slightly riskier option, and the one I've put up there is For the People, Self-Care and Alert. And the reason behind that is you can basically insta heal people with your For the People and then kind of retreat and put yourself in a bit of a safe position, and that's where Alert will come in handy, that you'll be able to see killer if they break any sort of breakable objects like pallets or breakable walls or kick gens, and you know then where to position yourself on the map to kind of be safe and far away from them. And then once your broken status effect runs out, you can obviously self-care yourself back up. Best kind of way to use that is if you can get a safe unhook them, hit them with the people directly, and then kind of scoot off into the distance and play a little bit more conservatively, maybe do a gen at the other side of the map or something, to keep yourself safe. Next up we have the People's Revolution. Activate the ability for the perk For the People and heal another survivor 2 times in a single trial. So this is pretty self-explanatory right off the back of the last one we did. Basically my recommendation for this one is the risky option from the previous one. Run For the People, Self-Care and Alert, bring your Yellow Med Kit and your bandages add-on, and you should be good to go. All the same reasons apply as they did in the last video, or last bit. Okay, next up is Go for Broke, which is Sabotage 12 hooks. We know how much everyone loves these ones when they pop up on the tome. So first off, I'm going to say about this one is do not be that survivor who instantly loads into a match and runs over and starts sabotaging hooks for no reason. Just please don't do it. Try and do it if you've got an opportune time, like if you're in a position where your team's in control of the match, or if you're going to be able to save someone, or something like that. Like, please don't be the person who loads into the map instantly and starts trying to sabotage hooks. It's just a pet hate of mine when these come up in the tome. But my recommendation for this one, pretty self-explanatory. Run the Perk Saboteur, and then run the Commodious Toolbox, which is the green one, with the Gloves add-on and the Wire add-on. I believe they're called Wire Spool and Protection Gloves. So basically the reason for this is the Commodious Toolbox and the Wire Spool will give you 44 charges in your toolbox, and the Protection Gloves does not notify the killer when you've sabotaged a hook, which means you can get 7 sabos out of that one toolbox alone, and then you have the Perk Saboteur on top of that to get an extra couple. If you are going to try and do that, clear this off, split scanning one map, my recommendation would be is if you're sitting on a solo in a gen, try and find one that's next to a hook, and just kind of sabotage it, work the gen, and then when the hook respawns, kind of quickly sabo it again. So it only takes, I think, 6 charges out your toolbox in 3 seconds to sabotage the hook, so realistically you're only going to really add 9 seconds to your gen repair time. Don't do it obviously if they're running ruin and things like that, and it's not safe to do so, or if your team is in a really bad position, don't waste time doing that, obviously. Right guys, next perk is Bring the Light, which is repair a total of 12 generators. I'm not going to give you any sort of specific advice for this. I've just got a list of stuff down the bottom that can help you. So like the Commodious Toolbox, which is the best toolbox, the brand new part add-on, the other add-on that helps you improve the toolbox's speed. You could run things like Prove Thyself, or the combo of like Spine Chill Resilience, just to get some speed boosts on your generators. But honestly, it's just doing the objective for this one, guys. There's not really any advice I can give you other than do generators, you know what I mean? Right guys, we got the next one, which is Out of Sight, which is hide within 10 meters of the killer without being caught for a total of 90 seconds, right? You'll see what's up on the screen, and I'm going to get bombarded with abuse for it, right? But hear me out, right? Okay, so basically, my recommendation for this is play as Claudette, put on Iron Will, and bring the Midwich map offering for 2 reasons, right? So Midwich is both an incredibly dark map, which is incredibly good for blending, and Claudette is the best for blending. And second of all, the fact that it's over 2 floors is even better, because it means that you could be on the floor beneath the killer, but the game registers you as being within 10 meters, so you get the benefit if you're like the floor above or the floor below if they're chasing someone. Luckily it doesn't need to be in one match, you can do it cumulatively over time. And the reason why I'm saying Claudette and Iron Will is so that you can blend. You can jump in between lockers, you can hide in like incredibly dark bits of the map, places where like you usually get spotted. You can basically just blend into the surroundings and trick the killer. Iron Will also means that if you're injured, then you also don't like have grunts of pain, which is going to help you out because you can still blend even though you're injured. And as a wee caveat as well, throwing in Stakeout into the mix as well, because if you're going to hide within 10 meters of the killer purposely, you might as well get some benefit out of it. So basically the way Stakeout works is that for the amount of time you're in the killer's terror radius, you build up tokens, and those tokens equate to every time you get a skill check on a generator, you get a great skill check instead of a good skill check. So it's just a wee added one just to get you a bit of extra value from it. I know, I know what you guys, I know you guys are going to give me abuse. But I've clearly just been watching too much Mathman 200. But I've done this on previous tomes and it's worked a treat. So you're just going to have to trust me, okay? Okay guys, so the next one up is Generosity, which is a heal a total of 10 health states of other survivors. I'm not going to go over this one, I'm just putting the same graphic up on the screen for this heal 3 people in one trial, and it's the exact same logic. You can take the safe approach, which is a lot of perks and stuff that can get you quicker heals, or you can go for the risky approach and try and heal lots of people in one match using the kind of slightly riskier tactic. For this one, because you don't need to get it done in one match, I would definitely recommend the safer option of the We'll Make It, Desperate Measures, Botany, and a med kit. Because it's not you're going to take you more than one game anyway, so you might as well just run a kind of combination of those as part of your build, and just kind of do it more safely in other games rather than going all in and using the for the people and have it backfiring on you. Right guys, last one up for the survivor specific ones is repair a total of 6 generators while co-oping with other survivors. Again, not a great deal to say about this one. Pretty self-explanatory. You don't really need any specific perks or builds for this one. I would recommend Prove Thyself because you get faster gen repair speed while co-oping, and again, everyone's favourite commodious toolbox. This time with the socket for the faster speed and the wire, the spool wire, basically to add 12 charges. So basically you'll get 48 charges into your toolbox with your Prove Thyself value, and you should be able to get through it pretty quickly, at least for the first one, to kind of get you on the right foot. And then you're just going to be one of those guys who just follows the other teammate around. If you're not playing with friends, just following a random teammate around and just always trying to be on a gen with someone as you're trying to achieve this one. It's probably one of the easiest and most difficult ones to achieve simultaneously, depending on what teammates you load in with, especially if you're playing solo queue, but you'll get there eventually. Right guys, and the last one we're going to go through here, I've put them all up at the screen at the same time, is the communal one. So you've got the Glyph Seeker, you've got the earn 100,000 blood points, and the earn 15 gold emblems or better. So I've not put any perks or any builds up for this because the best advice I can give to you on these ones is you just need to play to your strengths for these ones. Run the builds that are going to get you the most success for your escapes, for your generating blood points, for your general just navigating a map successfully. So like you can do things for the blood point ones, for example, like run We're Going to Live Forever or Prove Thyself, or the offerings that will get you more blood points like Bloody Party Streamers, Escape Cakes, things like that. They'll all help out, but how many blood points you get depends on how well you play in the game, so you need to play to your strengths. Similar to the gold quality emblems are better. Like you look at the emblem system and look at what you're good at, and then try and focus on them, especially if you're kind of relatively new to the game and like you're not particularly good at chase and you don't know if you're going to make it through the trial or survive. Focus on your Lightbringer emblem and your benevolent emblem. Like focus on healing people and getting generators done, so you at least make sure that you're getting 2 per trial. Just for these ones, just play to your strength, run the best build for you that you think is going to get you the best results, and just kind of go through like that. Don't necessarily just fire the trial and just play, I'll just go through it. If you want to get through it quickly, you can slap it on, and as I said, just focus on the things that you're good at. So if you know that you're good at chasing the killer, so for the 100,000 blood points, put on a series of perks that are going to help you in chase, like Sprint Burst or Dead Hard or Lithe or something, and put on the offering for like the boldness that gets you extra blood points for boldness or something like that. Same with the emblems. If you know you're not going to get all 4 at gold, focus on like the 2 that you will be good at. So like say Lightbringer and Benevolent. So say bring like a toolbox to help you get generators done quicker, and then bring a series of perks that will help you heal other people. So for killer, it's like you can give a lot more specific advice for these, but for survivor, it really is just as simple as bring your air game and bring the perks that you feel are going to get you the best results against these things, and don't be afraid to kind of play to your strengths in that. If you're relatively new to the game and you know you're not good at looping and you just want to focus on doing gens and unhooking people and getting heals off, that helps benefit your team, and it'll help you get these challenges as well. Like you will need to get better and learn the other aspects of the game, but if you want to get through these quickly, that would be my advice. Focus on your strengths and try and accomplish the stuff for these communal ones. Right guys, first tome time in the books. Not an exhaustive list, not heavily detailed. There's a lot to get through in these, so I don't want to have a 40-minute video for it. But hopefully that'll help you guys out, especially in some of the more specific ones. I'll release the killer one shortly, and then I'll start working my way back through older tomes for if you're going back and trying to pick up blood points through older tomes, and I'll obviously do the newer ones as they come out. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I've been LiboATM. Please like the video, please subscribe to the channel. As a new content creator, it really does help me with algorithms and getting me up the directories and things like that. Come check me out over at twitch.tv/LiboATM a couple of times a week where I stream Dead by Daylight. Would love to talk to every single one of you. And until next time, guys, peace.